Well, guys, I got here AJ from EMP Money, and he's bringing a very interesting project to us. And I'm actually shocked at this project. And first of all, his face is on the bonds. So, as you all know, because his face is on the bonds, this is a big deal. They're guaranteed because of this reason. So, I wanted to go through these bonds because somebody posted it in my Discord, and I looked into it and I was like, is this real? And I reached out to AJ right away because I was like, let's get you on my channel because I have a million questions for you. And as he gave me the details, I couldn't believe the details he was giving me about these bonds. So this is something no one's seen. Okay. AJ, can I share this? I'm good to share what you guys have in your
Yeah,
treasury.
brother,
Okay.
exactly. For you only, Thou
Because
King. I love it, bro. Yeah.
because I asked AJ, I went to AJ and he's like, this is backed. And I go, prove to me this is backed, AJ. I trust you a lot, but I want to make sure, prove to me. So look what AJ sent me. This is the EMP Treasury, guys, right here. $1.78 million. That's not a joke. So when he tells me something's backed, I believe it. When he tells me he can pay 60% APY, I believe it. And he's gave me all the reasons. And we're going to go through the reasons right now, how they're going to be able to pay. Um, I worked out some calculations and we're going to go through all the risks and everything. I worked out some calculations. Bitcoin right now is at 28,500. Okay. If you get 60% on this, that makes it 45,600 in a year from now. This is the way I'm thinking about it, right? So you could buy Bitcoin and hope it goes to 45,000 in a year, or you can make a $17,000 profit guaranteed here, which is equivalent to $1,425 a day. You see, this is the way I'm thinking about it when I look at these things. So I'm going to go through this with you guys. We're going to ask AJ all the hard questions. You guys line up your questions too. Uh, so you guys all saw this, right? There we go. But anyway, let me welcome AJ so we can talk. Thank you for coming on.
I love it, Thou King. Yes, brother. Happy to be back, my friend. Again, major love to you and your community. And yeah, man, this is the newest opportunity that we're rolling out. Again, I know it looks a bit too good to be true, and we use that word guaranteed, but we don't use that word lightly. And we're gonna go over all the reasons why this is guaranteed and why it's such an amazing opportunity. But to begin with, um, the numbers don't lie. And again, we just showed the treasury there. We have been working with a institutional grade trader. The name of the platform is called Trade Yield, and the
It's called
trader,
Travio.
I'm sorry, Trade Yield, Trade
Triv.
Yield, Trade
So
Yield.
trade
Yep.
yield.
Yes, there you go. Yep. Sorry, I know my
So
microphone's a little messed up today, but yeah. Yep.
so they're called trade yield.
Correct, and they are an institutional trading account. They have all the legitimate paperwork. This is not a bot. This is not a Ponzi. This isn't some guy in his basement. This guy's name is Brian. He's fully doxed to us and to everybody. He is extremely transparent. He has all the appropriate paperwork through the British Virgin Islands, BVI offshore account. And because he has all of these credentials, he has some incredible partnerships with crypto.com and Bybit on the institutional level. And what this means is that he is able to front run all of the retail volume. So we have been experimenting with Brian for about the last year. I put some of my personal funds up for the first month and a half. Again, if anybody was going to lose money, I wanted it to be me and not put the treasury at risk or anybody else. We had some incredible results. He actually doubled about 50 grand in the first month. And then we eventually put our treasury in, as well as some other VIP members of our community. And again, for regulatory reasons, we are structuring this as a loan. We're not a security.
Hmm.
We're not managing people's funds. This is a straight loan to the protocol for 60% APR. And so that allows us to get away with a lot of a gray area that we see in crypto now. You showed the treasury. We've been able to turn about 500K into 1.7 million in the last 7 months, and
Can
everybody,
can
yeah.
anyone use this guy that's trading? Because this is incredible.
Yeah, so he does not take on any account under 250K. So you have to have a minimum of a quarter million. But we're under some non-disclosure agreements. But a lot of the other trading, legitimate trading NFTs that you may know and may love, I cannot confirm nor deny that they also have Brian managing some of those funds. So he's well known in the industry again, but it's not what you know, it's who you know. And we've just been really fortunate to develop a relationship with him, and he is absolutely killing it in terms of yield.
So let me ask you this. They do the trading for you on your crypto.com account.
Correct.
And you started with $500,000 treasury. Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah, so again, Dow, you probably remember this. Back in the day when we started to lose peg, everybody was begging for us to liquidate our treasury and provide
Mhm.
exit liquidity
Right.
for everybody. And we made the hard decision and said, no, we're not going to do that. We're going to put our treasury to work. Um, and so, knowing that we would have a full recovery, and again, we're building EMP Fusion, which is a much more sustainable model of EMP, and all of our treasury as well as the spread. So again, we're guaranteeing the 60% APR, but we're hoping to make more than that on the funds, and then
Right.
all of that will be used to buy back EMP.
In what time did this $500,000 become 1.78 million
Since
or more?
yep, since April of this year. So what is
Wait,
that?
wait, wait,
6
wait, wait.
months?
Time out.
Yeah, yeah, bro.
April of this year, you went from 500,000 to 1.8 million trading.
Correct. Yes, sir. He's been doing again. I mean, we're hoping to average about 20% a month, and that he's been hitting those numbers month after month after month.
I know. I mean, that's. I don't even know what to say. I mean, if
Yeah,
he's trading like that manually, that's insane.
yeah.
What is the
Well,
percentage
and
he takes?
yeah. Yeah, so he does take a management fee, but again, because of our relationship, this first round of NFTs, again, we're focused on making everybody whole and then actually providing a yield for EMP in true revenue. So, he's an investor in EMP as
Mhm.
well, so obviously he has a vested interest in helping us continue to grow. So there is no fees. There is a 2% fee on selling your NFTs early because we will have a peer-to-peer marketplace where you can sell them early. Um,
Yeah, I saw that.
but that fee goes to the insurance fund, not to us. So it will just
So,
further collateralize.
I mean, this trading part sounds incredible to me. I mean, I don't even. I mean, I'm just absolutely floored that somebody can trade like this. So why not
Totally.
just keep the $1.8 million you have in there and just trade with that? Why add another $500,000 to it? What was the thinking behind that?
Yeah, totally. So it allows us to scale. So we can definitely continue to yield on the money that we have, but you have to remember, not only is Brian an amazing trader, but we'll also have him on live AMAs over the next 2 weeks to explain this. We had him on our own AMA if you want to listen to that tonight, right before we came on here. But he has literally institutional accounts on Bybit and Crypto.com. So he is able to front run retail investors and get negative interest rate on the trades that he's making. So he's actually being paid to be a market maker. And so that factors into, this additional percentage of yield every month and why we're able to hit such amazing numbers.
What if he leaves? Is that a risk if he leaves?
Yeah, I mean, that would definitely be a risk. I mean, I don't think he's gonna die or leave. But even if he would, and that's an amazing thing about Crypto.com, and I believe Bybit as well now. But unlike FTX, where you had to have your funds on the platform, we're able to actually hold funds in a hardware wallet that both Brian and I have access to. And
Okay.
then the only time you utilize the funds is when you're inside of an actual trade. So if the USDT is held in the cold wallet, and we would just if crypto.com went down, we would only lose out on the active trades, not the principal.
So yeah, you guys have 1.78 million in USD. This is
Right.
not on you're telling me this is not on crypto.com?
Correct. We are able to self custody that money. So unless it's in an open trade, it's not on the actual platform.
So like how do you trade on the platform then? Oh, it moves it to the platform whenever you need it.
Correct. Yep. Whenever we
Oh.
submit a trade or whenever Brian initiates a trade, it moves that money into the platform. So, but the main Treasury account is held in the hardware wallet.
Isn't that kind of annoying for him to like make these trades?
Yeah, I mean, we definitely move more over than we are, we needing to access, but that's the other really unique thing. I think a lot of people think leverage trading is very risky, but really, leverage trading is actually less risky because you can only put up, say $10,000 at a 10x leverage. That's a lot less risky, even if you get liquidated, than losing 100 grand. So it's yeah,
Oh, I see what you're saying. I got you. Then putting up $100,000 and
and
losing like
losing it
half of
all.
it on a bad
Exactly.
trade.
Yep,
I
totally.
see what you're saying. Okay. Um, this is all very intriguing. So let me I'm just trying to wrap my head around this. So
Yeah,
you're
totally.
how are you guaranteeing this? Because um you're obviously you have the treasury backing it. We can see the funds in it, but is there anything that we're missing? Like it's guaranteed by this treasury. Is there, I heard you're going to have an insurance fund. Can you kind of walk me through that? So if I put in,
Totally.
for example, if I put in $250, how am I guaranteed in a year from now? Keep in mind, guys, you're getting back $400 in a year from now. You're not getting it month to month to month. You're getting it all back in a
Correct.
lump sum. So understand that. How are you going to make sure in a year from now, November 1st, 2024, I put $250 in, $400 back?
Yeah, absolutely, brother. So there's a multitude of things that are happening. So we are fully collateralized with the fund right here. Again, the 500K turns into 800K
Right.
when it's paid back, and so that alone would be covered even if Brian doesn't make anything over the next year. Um, that's how we're able to say we have enough funds. On top of that, we have an insurance fund where again every profitable trade, a small portion of that trade is moved to a different account um, that just holds a mixture of stables and blue chip assets. And we're calling that our insurance fund. And that, again, is already at about 200K from the volume that we've done from the Treasury up until now. And so those two things are the main things that back, us guaranteeing the revenue. And really it's about our entire ecosystem. So not only are we hoping to create a revenue stream and apply that to EMP Fusion and SparkSwap and the eventual L1 DEX, but God forbid everything goes to hell, we still have those other platforms that can help guarantee the return over the next year.
Has he had any losing months, this trader?
Yeah, so again, it's unbelievable to even say this, but no, he has had not one losing month, and in the last like 60 days, he hasn't even had a losing trade. So again, in the beginning, he definitely had losing trades, but he's been able to dial it in now
Wow.
to be extremely profitable, and a lot of that has to do with, like I said, crypto.com specifically. They are giving him a negative interest rate because he's a market maker for their site now. So they're literally paying him to create volume on the platform, and so because of that, any losses are covered by that interest rate.
Interesting. So you have a total of 2,000 of these NFTs. You sold, it looks like about 138. There's 1,842 more to go at $250 a pop. I assume this is on BNB or a BSC chain. You just
Yep.
connect your wallet and you go, and that's it, right?
Correct. Yep, we're on BSC, a BNB train,
Okay.
USDC in, USDC out. And again, to your comment earlier, Dow King, we have a track record of delivering. I mean, we did a very
Yeah.
similar thing called the ETH staking contract. We did that earlier this year where we offered a guaranteed APR on Ethereum, and we used the Ethereum we collected with the EMP that the Treasury owns to yield on our own platform. And we were able to deliver on that APR even when ETH basically went down by half. So we don't take it lightly. If we're going to say guaranteed APR, we mean it. And we've done very conservative math based on what Brian has been able to produce to guarantee that APR. So, a lot of other platforms will have similar,
Yeah.
variable yield, but you never know if the liabilities will be able to be covered, and that APR could go down over time, depending on the health of the protocol. With us, we picked a number that we are very confident we can hit, and it's a fixed rate APR.
So,
So
so
yeah,
your idea here is that you're going to get $500,000 and you're going to turn this 500,000 into $1.5 million and pay back $800,000, something like
exactly,
this. And
exactly.
then you're going to take that 800,000 plus maybe your EMP treasury will be 3 million, close to $4 million by then. What are you going to do with this $4 million? What are you going to buy with it or do with it or develop with it? Like, what's your idea for EMP?
Totally, brother. So that's where EMP Fusion comes into play, and we'll do a whole AMA on that. I know we've been teasing it on your channel a lot now,
Okay.
but EMP Fusion will be the new evolution of a tomb fork. So we get away from the inflation that we've seen, with the boardroom and how traditional tomb forks work,
Right.
and we move to a real yield model where we're allowing people to stake their EMP into the protocol, and then they earn a percentage of the revenue the protocol generates based on how much EMP they have locked up. So it simplifies
Right.
the process, and it takes away the prisoner's dilemma as well, where you're always worried about somebody else dumping on your head, and reducing
But
the price.
E EMP, the EMP token is not printing anymore, right? It's totally
Correct.
stopped, right? Yeah.
Yeah, EMP is out because we're below peg.
Yeah.
We're actually deflationary
Yeah.
because some of the other fees of the protocol burn EMP.
Oh,
So yeah, it's a great way to again we are below peg, but this will help the flywheel kick
right.
off. Of recovering peg, and then also producing real revenue as the yield, so that you don't have to worry about
Got it.
again. We love the idea of real yield where you're not beholden to somebody buying your token from you at a higher price. You're living off the yield
But
instead.
the E-shares is still emitting or no?
E-shares is still emitting,
Still emitting.
but we're on a halvening model, just like
Okay.
Bitcoin.
Okay.
So next year, it reduces in half. And again, Fusion is
Okay.
very there's a lot to it, more to it that I'm not really going into. We'd be here for an hour. But part of that is putting additional buying pressure on Fusion as well,
Got it. Let's go through some of these questions. If you guys also have questions out there, please make sure to subscribe and like and share this video. But if
for
you have
sure.
any questions, please put it out there. We already went through this, some of these, so it'll be quick. Is there a maximum number of NFTs I can buy? No, you can buy as many as you want. There's going to be 2,000 NFTs. It's going to end on Halloween, October 31st. So if you're going to go out for Halloween, if you want this NFT, make sure you get it by then. The rewards will begin November 1st till November 1st, 2024 will be when you're going to get paid out. There is no monthly payouts, guys. So the 5% is just going to collect your full 60% APR at the end of 12 months. So keep that in mind. You're not going to see any returns till November 1st, 2024. You can sell your NFT on a marketplace, from what I understand, which is pretty cool because if every month you got some rewards, those rewards are accruing. Basically, they're adding up. So
Totally.
you can actually sell your NFT for a little bit more each month. Hopefully, that's kind of the idea, which I kind of like.
Yep, and
Um,
just to touch on that real quick through King, we're actually again the NFT is not transferable, and you can only have it go through our own marketplace. And the reason that we're doing that is that we're actually whenever you list it for sale, it has to be at the current market value. So again, you're not able to undercut other people, and it's attractive for new users too
okay,
because say 6 months from now you could earn 30% in 6 months. So
right.
other people would want to buy that and have more of a short term earning potential as well.
Got it. I did have one question from my group. People wanted to know, but I think you kind of answered it. If there could be a shorter term too, but I guess if you wanted a shorter term, you would just sell your NFT for a little bit more, and you paid for it. It's kind of
Exactly.
what
Yep.
you're saying,
Yep. Or wait until that
right?
NFT becomes available for sale from somebody else. Yep.
We covered how the yield is being generated. They have a trader on crypto.com and Bybit that is a great trader. Um, is the 60% guaranteed? Yes, the 60% is guaranteed. We went over that too. What are any additional fees, guys? There's a 2% selling and I guess insurance fee too. And you can read all
Yeah, and
that.
that's only if you're gonna exit early. And
Yeah,
we do have an emergency withdrawal fee as
I
well.
saw
Again, the
that.
marketplace is peer to peer, so again, you have to have a buyer. But if you really need to get out, we will have about $10,000 a week that we allocate
That's pretty
to
good.
people that want to exit early. But you are taking a 10% hit on your principal, and you're foregoing any yield as well. So
I mean, this is kind of crazy because you're backing it up at 225 basically.
yep,
It's also crazy because like if 6 months go by and you can't sell your NFT, but you need money right away, you guys are the big winner because you're paying 225 and you're
yeah,
keeping the interest. And I mean, I can't imagine people selling this for 225 after like more than like 3 or 4 months, because then the amount they're gonna get, amount they're gonna get back is so much more than this.
totally, brother. Yeah, and
You know,
again, like you said earlier, be very aware. I mean, we're not here to sell you on this. You have to be aware of the lockup. The idea is that you are holding it for a year and realizing that full APR at the end of the year for sure.
all right. And then this is why are you offering this? We kind of talked about that. What are the risks involved? We kind of talked about that too. There's always risks in crypto, guys. I mean, I know they said that's guaranteed, but like at the end of the day, like we've seen some weird shit in crypto. Um, you know,
Yeah, and I agree. And we
yeah.
the main things that would happen would be, World War III or USDC
Yeah,
completely depegging. I mean,
yeah.
those things are definitely out of our control, but everything in our control, have done our, due diligence and, are absolutely confident that we'll be able to do this. And like you said earlier, Dow King, I wouldn't put my face
His
on
face is
this
on it.
yeah, if
Yeah,
I
that's the
didn't
best
truly
part.
believe. Yeah, brother. So again, we feel like the timing is right. And this will allow us to scale tremendously. Again, we are structuring it as a loan, but that doesn't mean it's a loan because we are in trouble. As I showed, the treasury is healthy, and we have no ulterior motives. We just want to be able to use this opportunity to set us up for an amazing 2024 for sure.
How much is your TVL currently in EMP? I actually logged in the other day. I don't remember what it was.
Yeah, I think we're just under 3 million
3 million?
still, which again in the bottom of the bear, it's not bad. And
No.
SparkSwap is now almost 8 million again. So between both protocols, over 10 million TVL and
Wait, what?
yeah,
Which one is 8 million?
yep, SparkSwap.
Oh,
That
SparkSwap
yeah,
doing
that's
really
the other
well.
one on Pulse. Yep.
That's doing well. Yeah. Well,
Yeah, so
If you
yeah, and we another really cool thing too, real quick. Speaking of that, we also just launched our bridge. So we have the BSC to Pulse
right.
bridge, and that will allow people that are in Spark and vice versa to bridge over to get into these NFTs as well. So yeah,
Um, so when I'm looking at this particular NFT, you said it's a loan that's going to you guys, you know. So this is a loan that's going to you. So does that make it to EMP? Does that make it so it's not really considered a security? Is that kind of
exactly. Yep,
okay?
we've talked to many lawyers, and again,
Okay.
Trade Yield itself is registered in the British Virgin Islands, so
Okay.
it's a non-US based entity as it is, and EMP is a non-US based entity as
Correct.
well. So we're just simply taking the loan to the protocol and providing a fixed return for giving that loan. And again, there are no a loan is not a taxable event, and it's not a regulated event under the current crypto guidelines.
Interesting. So a loan is not, that's right. So you're basically getting a loan on, you're right. You're absolutely right. And then you're paying an interest rate. You're 60%. What you're doing is you're paying an interest rate. That's kind of how you guys are talking about it, right?
Correct. Yep. And again, if you're, I'm not a tax
Okay.
advisor, but you will have to pay income on the yield when you withdraw at the end of the year. But providing a loan is not a taxable event. And even, there's a lot. Again, we have a whole nother AMA about this. But that is a way a lot of whales avoid, the liabilities is that they put their crypto up on sites like Aave. They take a loan against that crypto,
Mhm.
and then you can withdraw that as a non-taxable event for sure. So again, it's
Y-
really creative things. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So if you, for example, a lot of people don't know this, but let's say you've made $1 million profit in, I don't know, let's say Ethereum. You can go over to Aave and loan, I think, what, 80% of the value to
I
ETH?
believe so. Yep. Depending
Yeah.
on your
So
collateralization rate. Yep.
yeah, so it's like you put your $1 million up, you grab your $800,000. That's not taxable. So, yeah, you're taking a risk with that other 20%, I guess. That's your risk factor. You don't get all the money, but if you're living in a country where your taxes are higher, then maybe you don't care. Maybe you're like, non-taxable event. We got a couple questions for you here.
Yes, please. I
Um,
love it.
did anybody, what is this? Did anybody, I don't understand what you're saying. Did anybody see the line getting into the NFT conference in France? Oh, I guess there's an NFT conference in France. No, I did not.
Yeah, well, NFTs are again, we really like to have utility based NFTs, and I think that is the next wave. Again, no more of these. I know you did an amazing NFT video a few days ago,
Mm,
Dow King, on the the inherent value of the OG Board Ape, all those. And I think you're right. I think they will come back. But in terms of actual utility based NFTs that generate yield, I mean,
yeah,
that is really the true use case for
absolutely.
NFTs, in my opinion. Yeah.
Absolutely. Gensler dropped a lawsuit against Garlinghouse and Larson. Is this real, AJ? Yeah, it's
Yeah,
real.
I saw it on Twitter today. Yep, they dropped it. So again, SEC losing their big stick. So yeah.
What is going on? For the people, by the people, this will change everything. Banks, 0.1%, crypto, 8%. Huge gain.
Yeah, LMFG is going off tonight. I love it. So
All
yeah,
right.
what I did want to say too, again, just to wrap up, we definitely have we've done some other NFTs in the protocol. I think if we get any kind of negative feedback, people think we raised all this money and it went in our pockets, and we've had some feedback of oh, another NFT from EMP, but you have to realize that none of that money, even from the original Sentinels and
Sentinel.
Defenders. all of that money went right into the protocol. So we never took that, and even this NFT, we're not taking the loan to pay ourselves. We're taking the loan to generate yield that will then pay everybody else out and then some for our entire ecosystem. So it's not a money grab. We're simply trying to again scale what we're doing. Yeah,
Well, I think this is interesting because if you're able to get to $3 or $4 million treasury by next year, your whole
for sure.
TVL is only $3 million. I mean,
Exactly.
you could potentially, I wouldn't necessarily peg, but you could just give a yield to people who owe the you know the e-shares. Basically, you could do so many different things at that point. You don't even need to be a tomb fork anymore. You don't really need to peg anymore. You don't need to do anything anymore. But you know, if I when I look at a project that has almost $2 million, that has a $3 million TVL, that's very impressive. You've done a great job, AJ. The only problem I will tell people out here is this: it's not the project, it's not EMP. It's we're in a bear market and it's DeFi, and it's just really hard for most projects. Majority of DeFi projects, even the best ones, are down over 90, 95%, 99%. Magic, which was a tomb fork that launched around the same time you guys did, just shut
For
down
sure.
yesterday or
Yep.
2 days ago. So that I lost a lot of money in there, as did a lot of other people. But most of the tomb forks have completely gone to zero, 99.9% done, or they're just shutting down. The fact that EMP is around, AJ is still around, and he's doing what he's doing, I think it's a testament to you. It's a testament to your team. And I think you guys need to give AJ a break and give him some love, because if it was anyone else out here, like Magic, all these other tomb forks that shall remain unnamed have shut down and they were gone a long time ago.
Right on, brother. That means a lot to our king. Again, bro, we're out here trying to build, trying to deliver, and to your point, we have. I mean, and that again, we made this comment earlier. Everybody wanted us to just pay out the treasury, and help repeg, and then we would have been screwed. We would have
Yeah,
died like every other one.
you would have
But
died.
we made the hard decision not to do that, looking at the future, and now we're in an incredible position to literally resurrect the protocol in a much more healthy way. And to your point, and I think you've even made this point on some of your other AMAs, Dow King, we look at the original Tomb Fork model, we look at that as a liquidity event, meaning it's basically a year long pre sale of distributing tokens to users. And now we're able to actually, again, resurrect things and have those tokens actually become valuable again through this real yield and what we're calling EMP Fusion that will also help eShare as well. So we have a ton coming, and we'll do a whole AMA with you when we're ready for
Yeah.
that. We're about 90% of the way there, but hopefully by the end of the year, all of that will be live for sure.
Sorry, I think I left my window open so you guys can hear
You're good, man.
the police. I think they're going down my
They're on their
block.
way. They're coming to get
Uh-oh.
you.
Oh, looks like a fire truck. So there's fire. Let's
Oh,
see outside. Yeah. Um, So, AJ, overall, I think this concept and this gains that you're doing and the way you're doing it, I think a lot of people right now being in a bear market are skeptical, but this is probably one of the best offerings I've seen. I'm actually going to buy some of the NFTs. I put the link down here for you guys in the description, but it's pretty easy, you guys. You can just go to the website here. It's just empbonds.com. This is one of the cleanest things I've seen. The only thing is you guys got to hold on for a year. And if you don't want to hold on for a year, well, hey, you know, you can sell it for a little bit of a loss or try to resell it on the NFT marketplace. That's the way I think about it. And like I did the math for you guys, if you put $1,000 in, which is 4 NFTs, you're going to get $1,600 out after a year. You got to think to yourself, what token can I buy right now? It's $1,000. That'll be at least 60% and basically guaranteeing me in a year. And it's providing me a passive income, but I get paid it all at once. That's the way I'm trying to help you guys think about it. There's no guarantees in a year any of these tokens will be 60% higher. I think Bitcoin has been up like in this year about 72%, but it's not like you can cash it out or anything like that. This you can cash out and then go buy Bitcoin or do whatever you need to do. So this is the way you got to think about it. That's what it is, guys.
I love it. Absolutely, Dow King. And again, just to clarify, there was no there. This is what it is. There's not an additional yield for VIP. There's no referral fee. I mean, it's straight USD in, straight USD out, and we're really excited to bring it to everybody. And this will be, the last puzzle piece into an extremely healthy, relaunch of EMP.
Oh, there's like must be a legit fire around
There,
here.
yeah, man. Go downstairs and check it out, Dow King. We have to cut the anime short.
No,
Yeah,
they're
no.
going up the block. I can see on
All
my
right.
cameras, but
It's getting smoky in your room. I don't know, man.
oh
No,
man.
no, no.
You
Yeah.
know, it's funny. I had a neighbor like across the street. His garage caught on fire like last year.
Oh shit.
It
Okay.
was really
Yeah.
crazy.
Oh man. Yeah. Well, hopefully it's okay, and
No, it
whoever
looked like
wherever
it's
they're
fine.
going is okay. Yeah. So.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Let's see. Any other questions, guys, before we're done with AJ here? No other questions. No other questions. It looks like it's a simple project. It's not complicated. It's really simple, and I thank you for making it simple because I
For
think
sure.
that's what this space needs right now. It's just something simple and easy. This is easy. I bought the Sentinels. I mean, I put a couple $1,000s in the Sentinel NFT, so I understand what the community. I don't think I've paid out that much on the Sentinels, maybe a few $100s. But maybe we can address that? Is there any way that those Sentinel NFTs, with everything you're doing, one day start to pay out again more?
Yeah, no doubt. So I'm glad you brought that up. Again,
Yeah.
I'm the most transparent DeFi project operator you'll ever meet. So please, I love constructive criticism, and I'm happy to go into anything. So the deal with the Sentinels, we use the reactor payouts to actually produce the yield. So unfortunately, as detonator and reactor, have become less attractive, that also reduces the payout
Payouts.
of those NFTs. But we do absolutely have plans. The floor price again has been very healthy. We have been sweeping the floor with some of the profits of Sentinels as it is. And moving forward, once we have Fusion live, we definitely have plans on resurrecting detonator and reactor with
Hmm.
a different method and what we're calling V3, which has a little bit more stringent claiming taxes involved. And once that happens, we are very confident that the payouts on detonator and reactor will also start going up, and that will allow you to earn more with your
Interesting.
defenders and sentinels. Yep,
Got it. Got it. Well, guys, like I said, a lot of people would have closed their eyes on it and said, that's another failed NFT. Let me move on from it. As you heard, that's not AJ. He's still moving. So
totally,
I,
brother.
I appreciate you, man. I'm going to go pick up a couple of these NFTs. I think it's great. Um, you just have to wait a year. You guys got to be okay with it. A lot of people think very short term. I'm not one of those people. I think you need to think long term. Year can go by very fast. It's nice to pick up a chunk of change, even if you put $1,000 and pick up $1,600 in a year. I don't see anything wrong with that. So thank you, AJ, for coming on, and we'll talk shortly again.
All right, Dow. Thank you, brother. Thank you to your whole community. And please join our Telegram or Discord. Again, Brian, the actual trader, will be on a lot of these AMAs,
Wow.
and you can hear it right from the horse's mouth. He's an amazing guy, fully transparent, doxed as well. So again, nothing to hide here. And anybody that has any further questions, please feel free to ask for sure.
All right, guys. Have a good night, and we'll talk to you guys shortly. If you guys have any other questions, please, you can join my Discord or hit me up on Twitter. And if you have any questions, I'll make sure to ask AJ, and we'll have him on again, and we can ask him those questions. Thanks, guys. Take care.
Awesome. Thanks, brother. All right.